Marcy wanted to build another animal enclosure pen, house, whatever you want to call it. Thank goodness it doesn't look like it's for me. Hey folks, welcome back to the Rockin' Sea Homestead. My name is Lance. I want to welcome you to our channel. And today we're finishing up a project we started last night. So Marcy and I were talking and we thought we needed a safe, snake-proof place and maybe even goat-proof place for our little baby chicks can get outside, get some fresh air and start to maybe get some fresh, even some greens or scratch or wherever we place it. So we decided to build them another little kind of brooder situation, but this time this is low to the ground and it's very strong, very sturdy. So we think it's goat proof to some degree and definitely going to be snake proof. And unfortunately we've had a little bit of issues with snakes in our chicken coops this year. So this is what it is. Let us show you what we've got done so far. We'll finish it up and get the chickens in and show you guys and bring you guys along. So last night we were able to get the pretty much the full structure built. We got the lid. Now we just have to attach the lid to this. Plus we got to put some hardware cloth underneath for the bottom. We didn't have that last night. We ran out of hardware cloth. Very simple frame. Just use some 4x4 posts for the corners and just framed it in 2 rectangles, one on top, one on bottom. Just very similar to how we did our raised beds. And then just put some support structures in here. Like I said, this is going to go in the areas where goats are at. So we want to make it pretty sturdy so they don't jump on it and crush it. So we will have little baby chicks and maybe a mama chick in there. So very easy design. We're able to knock this out in an hour or so last night, but I think it's going to be solid and we cannot wait to get our little baby chicks in here. All right, so we're at the step of putting on the hardware cloth on the bottom. Now we're using 1/2 inch hardware cloth that's 3 foot. We're gonna have to cut a little bit because this is only 30 inches and this is 36 inches long or wide. But the reason why we're going with the 1/2 inch is unfortunately we've been seeing some snakes and we want it to be pretty snake proof. So, that's pretty small hole for a snake to get into. I mean, if it's a little baby, something like that, mama chicken going to take care of it. So that's the reason why we're using the 1/2 inch. You can get bigger and wider, and I've seen that where I've seen some people get some like inch or 3/4, something like that. We think this works really good, especially for the bottom. That's what we're going to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to staple it onto the wood, and then we'll cut off all the extras with our handy dandy angle grinder. Unfortunately, we didn't have this last night when we were doing the sides because I let my son borrow it, and it took forever to do that with a pair of diagonal cutters. So glad to have this back. All right, so we got the hardware cloth attached to the bottom. As we were going through and stapling it, we thought about, how much pressure is going to be on this when we have like animals in there and that kind of thing. So we decided to go ahead and just put a few screws with some washers just to give it a little bit more reinforcement as we're lifting up. If this thing gets caked on with dirt or mud or something like that over the years, pulling it up, maybe that will help not pull off the bottom. So that's what we're doing. So now we're just going to flip this over and get the top on. Should be good to go. All right, so like I was saying, we need to fix the lid to the structure. So how we did the lid, so we had some extra 1x4s and some extra hardware cloth. So we kind of put 3 pieces laying this way, and we had just scraps of hardware cloth that went about, you know, foot and a half, something like that. So what we're able to do is stretch it to each side, staple it in, and then we just put 1 piece on top to kind of cover everything and make sure there's nothing pokey. If you've worked with this hardware cloth, you know what I'm saying, the sides are kind of pokey. And we just made it super strong. And now we just have to get some hinges on. We had some hodgepodge of hinges last night, and the screws that we had for them were just way too long, so when we screwed them in, they went through the tube before underneath and it wouldn't hinge. So we had to go to the store and get some more hinges. So we got those. We are going to put a couple handles on both sides so Marcy and I can easily carry it, plus one on the top to lift it. And then we're going to put a little hook and eye so we can close it up, lock them in so nothing can pop the lid off when we have them in there and we're not around. So that's what we got to do. Let's get it done. All right, this baby is done, at least for now. So we got the lid attached, hinged, got a locking mechanism on it, got the ground cloth, or the hardware cloth on the ground, and this thing's just ready to get moved into the chicken coop area, get some baby chicks in there. We'll be good to go. Well, we got all of the chickens moved, and you see we also got some goats playing around too. So we'll have to see how strong this hardware cloth is. These goats are pretty small, but we'll have to kind of see if we need to redo that lid. We'll see. But the chickens finally got in here. They seem to be liking it. We put Mama in with them just to kind of ease the transition. Let them kind of scratch around a little bit, see how they're doing. It's much cooler out here, outside, even underneath here. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna have to kind of watch it and kind of see how it works. If we need to modify it, we can. It's just how it is here at the Rockin' Sea Homestead. But man, some of those chickens are so cute. And I think we got mostly hens. Fingers crossed. Well, like I was saying, all the animals have been rearranged. The goats are loving it. So I think we're gonna kick the goats out, lock this up so these guys can just have some peace. I think we already kind of talked about a couple things we need to do to the top just to make sure that the hardware cloth stays on and the goats don't fall through. So we got a couple little things we're going to tweak on it, but it works great right here. Like I said, later on when we don't have as many baby goats, we can bring it outside. But for now, we just want to keep those guys. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. And one's pulling on Marcy's shirt right now. So guys, thanks for coming back, watching our videos. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't followed us on Instagram or Facebook, there's links down below. Make sure you subscribe, give some big likes, all those kind of things. And from our homestead to yours, we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.